about the fact that she doesn't even look 90?
Well, that's what keeps you
looks
young, man.
great.
It keeps you young. It wasn't a PhD, it was a master's, right?
Amazing.
Amazing. So, and her parents apparently didn't have the chances she had. I mean, she's really taking and making them for herself, but textile workers their whole lives. So
Amazing.
she's amazing. Thank you, Lulu.
Yeah. Great story.
Yeah.
Okay, gotta talk weather.
Yeah, really.
We have another messy storm system overnight into tomorrow morning. But just because it sounds like similar timing to last week doesn't mean we can let our guards down. There are nuanced changes that might make it a little worse just ahead of the morning commute. One of those, timing. Another one of those is the fact that the concentration of heavy rain is in a slightly different spot. This is what we're looking at right now. Cloudy skies, comfortable temperatures. We're close to 50 in New York City, and most of the tri-state is inching closer to that 50-degree mark. Our highs at their warmest today, mid-50s, which is about 10 above normal, but we are not even thinking about temperature with a storm like this on the way. Right now, most of the radar is quiet, right? Cloud cover in place, yes. Where we're seeing a few light sprinkles near Hampton Bays, and then over through New Haven and coastal Connecticut. This is not impactful rain, but what's coming will be impactful. This is the storm system that we've been watching, brought heavy rain to the Florida Peninsula yesterday. It's sliding up the east coast. As this front nudges east, those two things going to direct the path of the storm system right to us. We've got a lot of moisture to work with. We've got a lot of those atmospheric ingredients that we need to produce some of those stronger thunderstorms, with the potential that a couple of those storms turn severe. Level 1 severe risk as we move into tomorrow morning for the area shaded in this darker green. But regardless of the thunderstorm activity, we're still looking at the primary threats being rain that can lead to flooding and wind that can cause damage. We have that flood watch in effect for a lot of the tri-state area. You notice this does not include Long Island. There still will be pockets of heavy rain on Long Island, but the flood threat there isn't as high as it was last week. The wind threat is a little higher. For the rest of the area, yeah, the 2 to 4 inches of rain that we expect overnight into tomorrow morning could definitely prompt some flooding that could really complicate the morning commute. And our coastal flooding threat is more significant with this storm system, especially moving into high tide tomorrow. We could see a foot and a half of inundation down the Jersey Shore, which of course exacerbates any sort of flooding issue. We could also have that coastal flooding on Long Island. Really, any south-facing shore could deal with it with this storm system. So let's time it out. For most of the daylight hours today, we're just seeing a few scattered showers through this afternoon with a cloudy sky. The scattered rain that we see this afternoon turns more widespread by dinner time tonight, and then widespread rain turns heavy as we move through the overnight hours. The bulk of the moisture shows up between midnight tonight and 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. But see where the focus of this heavy rain is? It looks to be just a little further west than maybe the storm system we had last week. So the flooding threat isn't as isolated to Long Island. It's going to be north of New York City and for a lot of New Jersey. This heavy rain continues closer to the morning commute tomorrow morning. That's another difference between last week and this week. This week, we're going to see that heavy rain continue just up until the morning rush hour, which means the flooding won't have time to recede like it did last week. Another reason you got to give yourself extra time to get where you're going tomorrow, because the flooding issues on roads, highways could be a little bit worse. We'll get a lull late morning, early afternoon, and then it looks like another round of scattered showers tomorrow afternoon before this storm system officially moves on. Cold air blasts in behind it, which means a few flurries possible on Tuesday, and then we settle down. Now we got to talk wind, especially look at our coastal communities. Those gusts between 50 and 60 miles per hour working into tomorrow morning, that could cause some damage. We're watching that wind threat, especially for Long Island. That's where we have the high wind warning moving into tomorrow, but wind advisories posted for the rest of our coastal communities as well. So here's the bottom line. The timing, downpours the heaviest overnight into tomorrow morning, 2 to 4 inches total. That can prompt street and urban flooding, and then the potentially damaging wind gusts can at times lead to power outages as well. So just know this going into tonight, that tomorrow morning you do want to give yourself just a little extra wiggle room to get where you're going. You see those rain chances steadily increase as we head into tonight. Today's high temperature topping out in the mid-50s, cloudy with some morning drizzle, then scattered showers become steady. AccuWeather alert goes into tonight with very wet, very windy conditions, prompting the threat for flooding and some wind-related damage. A messy Monday morning, and then the rain tapers off into the afternoon and evening. After that, we cool off for the remainder of the work week, but we're also much calmer, seeing sunshine starting Wednesday. That was a check of the AccuWeather forecast. We'll be right back.